We're following three big stories tonight at 9.
First, a suspect on the run steals a car and takes a 4-year-old child on a wild ride.
Multiple crashes on my screen here.
That person is on foot.
How the boy escaped and the driver was caught after a high-speed chase in the middle of the morning rush hour.
Pot sales soaring, and it might mean more money in your pocket.
Tabor is going to have an impact on these dollars.
How marijuana taxes could lead to higher refunds for all Coloradans.
And the Denver Broncos making some big moves in free agency. How the team is bringing in top talent on defense and how that could take them to the next level.
Fox 31 Denver, news at 9.
A 4-year-old boy shaken but safe after a suspect on the run stole his mother's car and took off on a wild ride with him sitting in the back seat. The chase made for a chaotic commute, and the man behind the wheel hit 110 miles per hour right in the middle of rush hour. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Deborah Takahara.
I'm Jeremy Hubbard. The whole thing started at a gas station in Longmont where the suspect hopped in the stolen car. We move fast here, so follow along. He then took off heading south on I-25 and then east on I-76 to E-470, finally crashing at the intersection of Lincoln and Peoria, jumped out of the car and took off on foot until police finally caught up with him. We have in-depth coverage of the wild ride tonight. Mark Meredith spoke with victims who were caught up in the chaos. Kent Erdahl explains how law enforcement work together to keep people safe in situations like this. And we start with Fox 31 Denver's Justin Joseph. He's live in Douglas County with the details on how the whole dramatic drive ended. Justin?
Jeremy, you know, it is a chase that captivated really anyone near a television or radio this morning, and a lot of people were. It started about 50 miles north of here in Longmont with the kidnap of a child. The suspect led police on a chase throughout the metro area, a chase that ended right here in this intersection with one of several car wrecks.
There was a 4-year-old child in the vehicle.
Flying. That's how 4-year-old Alan Chevarria Rodriguez described his morning as he emerges from the Brighton Police Department still dressed in his pajamas. His mother at his side.
Possible auto theft that just occurred.
From this Longmont gas station, she called 911 when surveillance video caught this man stealing her car with her child inside.
She left the vehicle running and came outside and the vehicle was gone.
The brazen kidnap prompts an Amber Alert, and soon Skyfox spots the stolen vehicle racing south along I-25, approaching speeds of over 100 miles per hour.
The resolution, okay, that was a close one there with that white car.
On live television, Skyfox guides police with the man first stopping to hijack a gold van along I-76 as its passengers fled. The chase continues south along E-470, where the driver hits Colorado State Trooper Belman He trying to lay stop sticks.
This individual was a very dangerous person.
By now, police have identified the driver as Ryan Stone, a man with a dangerous criminal history. His van smoking, Stone finally exits Peoria, where he slams into a white BMW. He then hits another driver and stops once again. He approaches the driver slowly, trying to trick her to come outside. When she doesn't, he yanks her from her car and takes off. Moments later, Stone slams into Stacy Radar.
I saw out the corner of my eye him run the red light, and yeah, he hit me first, and then I hit other people.
Stone's final dash on foot ends less dramatically, with deputies arresting him. In the aftermath, dozens of victims, including a 4-year-old and his mother, all of whom say they're thankful.
I'm really shaky, and I don't know, I feel like maybe after the shock wears off, I'll probably be crying.
Now, Ryan Stone was taken to the hospital. He is expected to be booked into the jail. As for the deputy, tonight we're told he made it through surgery and he is expected to make a full recovery. We're live near Belford and E-470. Justin Joseph, Fox 31, Denver.
Thank you, Justin. And tonight we're also hearing from people who were just on their way to work when they came face to face with a suspect during this morning's chase. Fox 31 Denver's Mark Meredith is live along I-25 in Thornton with a look at the damage those drivers are now dealing with. Mark?
Deb, for hundreds of drivers on I-25 South this morning, they didn't have a choice but to become part of this story. And for some of those drivers, that means thousands of dollars worth of damage to their car. Not seeming to care who was in front of him, this morning carjacking suspect Ryan Stone gave several drivers from Longmont to Centennial a reason to call their insurance companies.
He's going to attempt to take another vehicle.
Watch as the suspect's second stolen vehicle, this gold minivan, becomes essentially undrivable. Still wanting to run, and with Skyfox overhead, the suspect then bumps into a Centennial woman who then stops, thinking she's been involved in a fender bender. That driver, Zune Wharton, tells Fox 31 Denver off camera she thought it was just a simple accident and was confused when the 28-year-old opened her car door and forced her out. For a second, see here, she even tries to go after the car, but then realizes it was too late.
Thought I was having a normal commute this morning.
Stacey Rader had been listening to the chase on the radio on her way into work.
I thought they said 470, and then I heard I-25, and literally I'm driving going, wow, I'm so glad I'm not on I-25 right now.
But minutes later, the chase ended up unfolding right in front of her at Peoria and Belfort.
I was driving, and I saw out of the corner of my eye somebody running the red light coming right at me at very fast speed, so I just freaked out, and he hit me. And I started spinning or at least it felt like I was spinning in the intersection. I hit two other cars.
Then within just seconds, the driver says she saw police everywhere.
I literally thought that someone had run a red light and tried to hit and run, and that I got lucky that the police happened to see it happen, because all of a sudden I saw police on foot chasing him, and I had no idea it was the carjacking, car chase situation.
Despite the damage to her car, Rader says she still feels lucky to have walked away from the accident and is thankful her car helped keep the suspect from hurting anyone else. What's also amazing is that none of the owners of those cars were seriously hurt during the chase. Reporting live in Thornton, Mark Meredith, Fox 31 Denver.
Mark, thank you. And we are learning more tonight about the man behind the wheel during this wild ride. Turns out, surprise, surprise, he has quite a criminal record. Ryan Stone has had trouble with the law for the past decade. Arrests and jail time for drugs, weapons, burglary, assault, and harassment. Just last night, Stone's girlfriend, Julie Pollack, was arrested in connection with a car theft. Stone was also a suspect in that case, but as you saw, he was able to get away.
This individual was a very dangerous person. You could tell by the initial contact with law enforcement.
One of the residents who spotted Stone running from police last night recognized the black and yellow jacket he was wearing and just dumped right there. Recognized that jacket as one taken from a neighbor just last night. Before
Stone's arrest this morning, the Colorado State Patrol and other agencies faced difficult decisions on whether or not to engage in a chase. Fox 31's Denver's Kent Erdahl explains what choices were made and why. He's live in Thornton tonight. Kent?
Well, Deborah, Stone was on the run for about an hour out here on the roads this morning, but Colorado State Patrol, they were only actively chasing for less than 20 minutes, and they say that's because they would have simply added to the threat to the public.
It didn't take long for a state trooper to spot the red Ford Edge Longmont police were searching for this morning. But with the 4-year-old boy inside and the driver picking up speed as he approached heavier traffic on I-25 South, CSP called off their chase.
We don't want to push this person. Obviously, he's already stolen a vehicle, and he's driving very recklessly with that child. So we backed off a little bit. We backed off quite a bit, as a matter of fact.
Troopers did resume their pursuit a bit later, but when Ryan Stone ditched the SUV, carjacked another vehicle, and then entered the interstate going the wrong way, the chase stopped again.
When you have somebody coming the wrong way and a patrol car pushing them the wrong way, that gets a little out of control for anybody.
From that point on, CSP and other agencies relied on the same aerial footage we provided to viewers.
Oftentimes, if you're not chasing somebody like we weren't 2 separate times in this thing for a long period of time, we lose visual. We don't know where people are.
In addition to the aerials, they relied on communication between dispatchers from different agencies.
Let Denver PD know also, and Aurora.
To stay ahead of Stone and try to keep drivers out of harm's way. Though 6 cars were struck and a trooper was injured, they believe patience was the best strategy.
Anybody that is driving as recklessly as that person was today and taking the risks that they were, we have to sit back and just wait. And hopefully that person will slow down or abandon the vehicle. And thank goodness he did when he did.
The State Patrol wanted to underscore the importance of communication, both with those aerial photographers, but also with other agencies. They underscored the fact that Aurora PD and others kept some cars from getting onto I-470 this morning, preventing even more accidents and more destruction. Reporting live in Thornton, I'm Kent Erdahl, Fox 31 Denver.
And our coverage of the police chase continues tonight at 9:30. The helicopter pilot and photographer who watched the crime spree unfold live described the bird's eye view they had of the wild ride.
Well, this is strange. Listen up. Coloradans are buying so much recreational marijuana that the state may have to refund the excess tax dollars, putting extra money in your pocket, even if you haven't spent a dime on weed. In a Fox 31 Denver exclusive, political reporter Eli Stokols explains how soaring pot sales could mean a higher tax refund for everyone.
Last November, Colorado voters overwhelmingly approved Prop AA, a 15% excise tax and 10% sales tax on legal marijuana.
It was the intent of the people of the state to tax marijuana at a very high level.
In the Blue Book, voters were told that would bring in an estimated $67 million in 2014.
Nobody would have ever been able to expect what those projections are actually going to be.
But after a few months of sales, it looks like the actual tax revenues from legal pot will far exceed that Blue Book estimate, possibly by around $40 million.
Tabor is going to have an impact on these dollars.
This week, State Rep Crisanta Duran and her 5 colleagues on the Joint Budget Committee got this legal analysis from the state, which concludes that the Taxpayer Bill of Rights will only let the state keep those $67 million in taxes, no matter how much more comes in.
We are either going to have to go back to the voters of Colorado to ask them to keep that revenue, or we're going to have to refund those dollars.
Lawmakers can lower the tax rates too, but that would impact the $40 million in excise taxes being set aside for school construction.
So that's probably off the table.
JBC member Sherry Giroux says she sees a one-time Tabor refund as a more likely way out of this mess, rather than asking voters either this November or next if the state can keep all the cash.
Basically, it could cost the state money because we have legalized the sale of recreational marijuana. That's the problem.
The state won't know until the end of the year exactly how much money has come in from recreational marijuana. Right now, the projection is that it'll be about $40 million in excess of the $67 million, but that number could rise to $100 million. If it's just $40 million extra, that would amount to about $8 in refund per taxpayer, although lawmakers have to decide lots of things, including whether every taxpayer gets a refund or whether they just go to those taxpayers who have actually purchased legal marijuana. I'm Eli Stokos, Fox 31, Denver.
Delivery services saving you a trip to the store by bringing groceries right to your front door.
Sounds like such a great idea, but is the convenience worth your hard-earned cash? We are getting your questions answered tonight.
And the Broncos welcoming some big-name reinforcements, how they could have an immediate impact on Denver's defense.
Let's hope so. Also ahead at night, a rude awakening when an explosion levels 2 buildings in New York City today. What officials say may have sparked this big blast.
And I'm meteorologist Dave Frazier. All the sunshine today, melting away the snow, and temperatures are heading up with the warmest days still ahead in your Pinpoint Weather Forecast.
The memory of the Super Bowl blowout still stings a little, but the Broncos are doing everything they can to make that a distant memory. The team making some serious moves in the free agency market. Sports director Nick Griffith here now to introduce the big-name talent who will soon be wearing orange and blue. Nick?
Deb, it's not like the defending AFC champs aren't already loaded with tons of talent, but now they're simply adding more to it and doing it on the side of the football that they need it most. Defense. Here's a look at the acquisition. Strong safety TJ Ward comes over from Cleveland. Cornerback Aqib Talib they plucked away from New England. And then today, arguably the best player in all of free agency this season, DeMarcus Ware. The 7-time Pro Bowler comes to Denver after spending 9 seasons in Dallas. He was released by the Cowboys yesterday. That was due to salary cap issues. And today, well, he was shaking hands with John Elway after the two sides agreed to a 3-year, $30 million contract.
With Talib being signed and then Ward being signed, they're saying, okay, well, we need the corners. They're going to be locked down corners. We have Von Miller, so I feel like I fit well in the scheme of things.
Ware was scheduled to only visit the Broncos today, but once here, apparently he liked it enough to go ahead and finalize that deal of that $30 million, $20 million of which is in guaranteed money. Aggressive, all-in style right now for John Elway. Think about what he's done over the past couple of years. He brings in Peyton Manning 2 years ago. He brings in Wes Welker last year, DeMarcus Ware, Aqib Talib this year. Going for broke, no doubt. It's Super Bowl or bust, and win the Super Bowl this time around.
He's putting his words behind his actions. I mean, really, actions behind his words, because he said, "I want a Super Bowl victory."
Yeah.
This is how you do it.
We know the window with Peyton Manning's it's short-lived, so you got to do it now.
Masterful.
I like it.
Guy seems to know something about football.
And about the business side of it too.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
He's been unbelievable. It's been fun
really
to watch.
has.
So, hey, some great weather coming up, guys. Today was beautiful. We're going to cap it by taking the temperatures up even warmer than that. So let's get to work with Pinpoint Weather. We're going to start with what's going on across the state, which tonight is pretty much nothing. It's quiet out there. We had mostly sunny skies today. And as we head over the next few days, big area of high pressure sitting off to our west will deflect any storms coming into the Pacific Northwest away from us. And as you see underneath that high pressure, there's just not a lot going on. And that's what we get to enjoy. More of this. Take you up to Winter Park. This is Lunch Rock. Look at the folks skiing. All the fresh snow up there still looks great. Look at those blue skies. Down in Denver here at Red Rocks, watch the snow melt away. Watch it here on the backside of the Hogback. Just kind of disappear through the day today. That couple of inches of snow melting away in the sun. And in Denver, we get to enjoy both. The blue skies overhead and the white-capped mountains off in the distance. High temperatures today did warm up. You know, we were yesterday in the snow in the chilly 30s. We got back into the 50s over all of eastern Colorado till you get to Trinidad. They only made it to 49. And then we had chillier 30s and 40s as you get into the mountains. Still warm 50s all the way out west. So Denver tops at 52 this afternoon, and that's pretty close to where we should be, which is 54. For the next few days, we will be above that normal average of 54. We're 33 outside and there's clear skies at the airport. Still a little warmer in Commerce City. They're at 38. It's 34 in Thornton, the same in the Broomfield area, but we're 40 in Lakewood and 43 downtown. Greenwood Village looking good, sitting at 40 degrees as well. In the mountains, you're already starting to see those colder 20s, and we've got a few 40s down towards La Junta in the southeast corner. Tonight, coldest readings, single digits and teens through the mountains, the mountain valleys, and back to the north and west. Otherwise, 20s for overnight lows out west, and basically 20s for overnight lows here in the east, including right here in Denver at 27 degrees. So our futurecast, clear skies tonight, not much going on. I think tomorrow, much like today, we wake up with a good deal of sunshine. But as we go through the day, storm system to our south and west will kind of let a little bit of cloud cover come up over the southwest corner of the state. We may get a little of that close to Denver, but I really think northeast Colorado, the east central part, and the southeast does real well. And there may be a late day snow shower over the top of the San Juans. Other than that, it's a pretty good looking day. Highs will be in the 40s in the mountains, 50s all the way out west, and a jump up in temperature from those 50s we posted today, a good 5 to 10 degree warm up with near 60 degree readings here in the northeast and mid and upper 60s as you head into the southeast. We'll fly you up and down the Front Range. Fort Collins 59, 60 in Lyons, the same in Boulder. Nice looking day in Firestone and Dacono, 61 degrees there. You get in the foothills, it's a little cooler. Estes Park, Netherland both at 45 degrees. Lots of 60s across the metro till you get to Centennial and Parker. They'll be in the upper 50s. 61 in Littleton, 58 over in the Morrison area. And down south, good looking day. 48 in Conifer, 53 Pine, 57 Perry Park, and an even 60 in Castle Rock. Tonight, starry skies overhead. We'll drop to a cold 27 degrees with a light wind. Tomorrow, it'll be a chilly start at 27. We'll get a breeze going as we get into the afternoon, on our way to 58 by the end of the day, and our forecast high 60 degrees. A few more clouds takes us down to 56, and we still have that rain snow shower in on Saturday, but the timing here is a little different. I think for the St. Patrick's Day parade it's okay, but the clouds will thicken up after the lunch hour. Look for those rain showers and then mix in a little bit of snow late in the day. But because it's starting earlier on Saturday, it's gone on Sunday, so the end of the weekend looks good. And I love next week, almost 70 on Monday as we go back to work, or maybe we go back to work. Tuesday 63 and Wednesday 58.
It looks truly perfect after what we've been through. I do too. Dave, thank you.
Whether it's work, school, or family filling up your busy life, it can be tough to squeeze shopping into your schedule.
Especially if you hate shopping. So some places are now offering to bring your groceries right to your front door. But before you spend your hard-earned money on this service, we put the local stores to the test.
And a building collapse sends dozens to the hospital in New York City. What may have been responsible for this deadly explosion?
On Capitol Hill defending Obamacare.
The Secretary of Health and Human Services promises no more delays for the program's individual mandate. That story tops our news across America tonight. The individual mandate means everyone must buy health insurance or face fines. But the Wall Street Journal is reporting that Obamacare quietly made it easier for millions to be exempt. They simply say their plans were canceled and other plans are too expensive. HHS Secretary Kathleen Sebelius says an exemption has always been there, but now with an added rule.
The new piece is not the hardship exemption, which has always been part of the law.
Okay.
It allowed people who could not find an affordable option to also have the option of purchasing a catastrophic policy. That is the new piece.
As of Tuesday, 4.2 million people had signed up for Obamacare. The government originally predicted 7 million by the end of March.
All right, get this, that New Jersey teen who's suing her parents. Well, she's moved back home. Awkward. 18-year-old Rachel Canning sued because she wanted her parents to pay her tuition and living expenses. Canning says they forced her out of the house. Mom and Dad say she left because she didn't want to obey their rules and she was obnoxious. A judge ruled against Canning for immediate financial assistance, but the rest of the lawsuit is still pending.
Oppan Gangnam Style.
And why is this man's dancing skills making waves online? All because he lost a bet. He lost to his younger brother for the first time in basketball, and the punishment was busted moves on busy street corner in Utah for 30 minutes. A woman he had never met before joined in, followed by a couple of more strangers, and even a puppy dog.
Well, see, he made some friends. It's not all bad there.
What an odd
Something you don't see in Utah very often.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, 3 dead, dozens hurt in an explosion.
A blast brought down 2 apartment buildings in New York. Investigators think they know a cause, but there is one grueling task ahead before they can confirm it.
Also had a bird's eye view of that wild police chase that started this morning in Longmont. It was live on Good Day, Colorado. Skyfox photographers tell us what it takes to follow something like this from the sky. Suspected car thief on the run with a young boy stuck in the back seat.
And the whole thing started this morning when he jumped into a running car at a Longmont gas station. Police say Ryan Stone was the man behind the wheel and took 4-year-old Alan Chavaria Rodriguez along for the ride. He eventually hit Bellaman as the officer was laying down stop strips. Fortunately, he is expected to be okay.
The whole thing lasting about 2 hours as Stone allegedly fled police from Longmont all the way down to Peoria and Lincoln on the south side of town. Officers say he hit speeds of 110 miles an hour, sometimes driving the wrong direction in traffic. He carjacked another driver and switched vehicles halfway through, causing numerous accidents before finally crashing himself. He ran on foot before police finally took him down right by that fence and put him under arrest.
Many of you saw and listened to this morning's high-speed chase live on Good Day, Colorado. Now we'll introduce you to the guys up in the helicopter and share their experience as they were following this wild ride.
The high-speed chase, apparently somebody took a car.
It almost looks like you're playing Grand Theft Auto.
He has carjacked a silver van.
This was no video game. It was a major high-speed chase right during the morning rush hour.
I've never seen a chase here like that. I kept remember thinking, this is like L.A.
Or hits a car. The doors open.
We see the lights up ahead, and we look in front of the lights, and there's a car obviously going a lot faster than everyone else, and chase was on.
The chase started after an Amber Alert was called out of Longmont.
Matt was doing a lot of fancy flying.
Our Skyfox crew had a bird's eye view from beginning to end.
What we were doing was every intersection we would see, I would yell back to the producers and the desk, say, hey, this is where we're at, this is where we're at, this is where we're at, and then they would then relay that. So, I mean, everyone was watching this from the news standpoint, so the police were able to just see it from the news or on the radio and get exactly where we were at minute by minute.
Throwing a young lady to the ground. She's fighting him.
I was trying to keep the listeners informed as to where they were and when people were in their cars trying to get them out of the way.
But the drama wasn't just on the ground. Our crew in the air was also dealing with a possible fuel shortage.
Planning, okay, here's this airport, where's he going? Trying to figure out what we were going to do in the event that we had to break off and, head and go get fuel.
Luckily, the chase did end before the gas tank went empty, and the crew was full of adrenaline.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit. When we landed, we finally were able to decompress and be like, okay, what just happened? It just blurred together for us, really.
He is on foot.
But one thing is for sure, this event will be one they will never forget. Throughout the chase, Skyfox was the main tool for CSP to keep tabs on the suspect as he was weaving in and out of traffic. This was the first high-speed chase that all 3 have encountered here in Denver. Our coverage of today's wild ride continues online. We have posted a full map of the chase route, a photo gallery of the tense moments taken from Skyfox, plus more information about the suspect and his lengthy criminal history. That's all on KDVR.com.
The man accused in that triple murder in Canyon City makes a court appearance to face the murder and sexual assault charges. Police say Jacob Van Winkle killed a mother and her 2 kids. Investigators say he was a friend of the family. The officers arrested him on Monday at the home where they found the bodies. They say he also sexually assaulted a teenage girl there. Van Winkle was convicted of several sex offenses against children in Indiana, and he also has a rap sheet here in Colorado.
No immunity for the Denver deputies accused of using excessive force against a homeless man who later died. In July of 2010, surveillance video you see here captured footage of several officers restraining Marvin Booker at the Denver jail. Officers supposedly used a chokehold and a stun gun to subdue him. Booker later died at the hospital. The deputies were seeking legal immunity in the case. A federal appeals court denied their request. Booker's family has been pushing for action.
This is one of the biggest cases that Denver's ever been confronted with that's going to go to a jury trial. We're very excited that finally, even though Denver's been trying to avoid accountability for this, a jury will be able to assess their conduct.
Booker's supporters rallied at the detention center today to honor the victim. They had already planned the rally before today's ruling came down.
A massive explosion in New York City levels 2 buildings, killing 3 people, hurting dozens more. Authorities are not sure yet what triggered the blast, and they say they won't know the full extent of the damage until crews complete the cleanup. Fox 31 Denver's Boris Sanchez has new developments on what happened and where investigators go from here. Boris.
Jeremy, at about 9:30 this morning, 2 buildings were essentially wiped out by an explosion. While the exact cause remains under investigation, rescuers say there may be up to 9 people still trapped in the rubble.
It was just so loud that it woke me out of my sleep. That's how loud it was.
Neighbors rattled out of their beds as a powerful explosion rocks Manhattan's East Harlem.
It was like a big boom, like a loud explosion, like something blew up.
Where 2 5-story buildings once stood, just smoke and rubble. The debris extending hundreds of feet, damaging neighboring buildings, even reaching a nearby commuter rail track. The blast heard up to 7 blocks away.
It was so powerful that you heard the boom and then it rocked the whole apartment.
3 bodies discovered in the wreck, 2 of them women.
I'm sorry.
And at least 36 others also hurt, rushed to local hospitals.
This is a tragedy of the worst kind because there was no indication in time to save people.
More than 160 firefighters rushing to the scene, along with a bomb squad using drones to investigate, trying to determine the cause. Officials initially pointing to a natural gas leak, indicating one resident actually called New York's gas and electric company, Con Ed, minutes before the explosion to report the smell of gas.
Con Ed dispatched a team immediately to respond. The explosion occurred before that team could arrive.
As officials work to remove what's left of the buildings, the focus turns to helping those on the mend.
We do have one critically injured patient here who's admitted, and some of the patients were children.
Again, as many as 9 people still unaccounted for. And one more note, officials say there was a similar report of a gas leak at one of these buildings last May, but workers reportedly fixed that problem when it was called in. Boris Sanchez, Fox 31 Denver.
New details tonight in the search for the missing Malaysian Airlines flight. A possible break in the case today as China releases satellite images that may show a possible crash site. Take a look at the pictures of the objects spotted in the waters northeast of Kuala Lumpur and south of Vietnam. It is still not clear what these objects are, but it is the first meaningful clue in days.
I think they've got to get vessels and aircraft there as quickly as humanly possible, track where it might have drifted in the intervening time, and get some eyes on the wreckage as soon as possible.
The pictures were actually captured on March 9th, a day after the plane disappeared, but were released for the first time today. Earlier today, officials doubled the size of the search area to 27,000 nautical miles.
Still so much mystery surrounding that.
Yeah.
All these days later, too.
Yeah. We may never know.
Yeah, really.
They're looking. They are the kind of headaches that stop people in their tracks.
We're talking about migraines. Now the FDA has approved a new device to help relieve some of those painful attacks. Looks like a tiara, but they say it really works.
And a live look at a calm night after a beautiful sunny day. Expect any leftover snow in the city to melt away. We'll tell you how long this warming trend will last coming up in your Pinpoint Weather Forecast.
We mentioned earlier in the newscast the marijuana business is booming, already bringing millions to Colorado.
And now the fast growth has pot shops looking for more employees. That tops our look at news happening tomorrow. Denver's first cannabis job fair will bring together 15 marijuana employers who are looking for new workers. They have job openings in a number of areas, including management, retail sales, marketing, and accounting. The fair runs from 11 to 7, and all applicants must be 21 or older.
Colorado lawmakers will join workers for a rally tomorrow on the steps of the Capitol, demanding a raise in the minimum wage. Legislators will also be introducing a resolution in support of raising the federal rate. Right now, Colorado's minimum wage is $8 an hour, or a little less than $17,000 a year for those working full-time.
Denver groups led by Live Well Colorado are receiving $500,000 to help fight childhood obesity. GSK, a healthcare company, will present the grant during a ceremony tomorrow at the Swansea Rec Center. Mayor Michael Hancock will also speak at the event.
All right, grocery shopping or spending time with your kids.
Survey says, why not do both from home? We lay out grocery delivery options on the table for you and tell you about a free perk you may not know exists.
And I'm meteorologist Dave Frazier. A chill in the air tonight, how cold it'll be at the bus stop for the kids, plus a look ahead to our next chance at rain and snow, and a complete look at your 7-day forecast next.
With our busy lives, it can be hard to find time to grocery shop.
But there are some new grocery delivery and pickup options available, and Fox 31 Denver's Kim Posey finds out if they're worth your money.
Oh, that is too funny.
Life gets pretty busy at the Velez house in Parker.
My name's Olivia. I'm Angelina. And Noah. I'm Ava.
With 4 kids, activities, a husband, and a home business, it's hard for Melanie to find time to grocery shop.
It's really crazy.
So at our request, she decided to try online grocery shopping with home delivery.
The thought of not having 4 kids with me while I'm going through a grocery store is fabulous.
She ordered from King Soopers and Walmart, who just recently started offering home delivery in the metro area in October. King Soopers has a minimum purchase of $50 plus a $10.95 delivery fee for a 2-hour window. That is waived for your first order. Walmart has a $30 minimum with a $7 delivery fee for a 2-hour window and a $5 fee for a 4-hour window. Ordering seemed pretty easy, and the supermarkets say prices are the same online as they are in the store. But Melanie was curious to see how everything would look once she got it, especially the produce.
Hi.
King Soopers arrived right in the middle of that 2-hour window, and Melanie got a chance to check out her purchases. She ordered basics like peanut butter, cereal, eggs, bananas, and strawberries. The refrigerated items were cold, and she was pleased with the produce.
Those look pretty good.
But 2 of the items Melanie ordered did not come.
It's like the Angel Soft and the Dole was dropped.
So they did drop a couple items.
If she chose to allow for substitutions, staff would have brought her other brands. As for the Walmart truck, it pulled up at the very last minute of the 2-hour window.
Hi.
Hello, how are you today?
Good.
The crew was cordial, and Melanie's entire order was there. When she checked everything out, it all looked good to her.
I'm very impressed.
We did compare prices on 8 items that Melanie bought at both stores, and Walmart was cheaper, but that did not factor in the use of a King Soopers card or coupons, and shoppers can save using both of those.
It's great.
Melanie really enjoyed the service.
This may save me so much time.
She was willing to pay the delivery fee, but other people may not be. Walmart actually has a brand new option. You can order your groceries online and then schedule time to drive to the store and pick them up, and that option is free. I scheduled a pickup from the Highlands Ranch Walmart. I pulled up out front. The groceries were loaded in, and my son never even had to get out of the car.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
It was pretty easy.
Pickup is always free.
And just one more grocery choice for all those busy families on the go. Kim Posey, Fox 31 Denver.
As she mentioned, free grocery pickup now available at 29 Walmarts in the metro area. If you choose the delivery option, you can get same-day service at Walmart if you order by 8 in the morning. For same-day service at King Soopers, you have to order by 10 a.m. If you want more organic or farm fresh foods, there is a company called Door-to-Door Organics that will deliver for free. But we were just talking about the tip factor, because obviously these guys are lugging these heavy groceries into your house, so you have to tip them too.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, some of us like to go to the grocery store and go up and down every single aisle.
So this is not
pick out our.
I'm down with it. I have a feeling Dave Frazier is too. Let's check in with him.
No, I actually like going.
Pinpoint weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Frazier.
I'm yelling over top of the guy introducing me. Sorry, sir. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I like going to the grocery store. I do. I like Deb going up and down the aisle, seeing what's on sale. And never go hungry, though. That's a big problem. 52 degrees was our high temperature today. 33 is where we stand right now outside. You can see a lot of blue across the state of Colorado. We're in the teens, 20s, and 30s, hanging on to a milder 44 down there in La Junta. Overnight tonight, we'll drop into the single digits, teens, a few 20s out west, and I think we'll be in the teens to 20s, everybody below freezing tonight. For tomorrow, we'll get a little bit of cloud cover coming up out of the south and west. So we start the day sunny, but then this cloud deck kind of grays up the southwest corner of the state, and they may get a brief snow shower over the top of the San Juan Mountains. For the rest of us, it looks like a sunny and pleasant day. We'll have 40s in the mountains, warmer 50s out west, but the warmest temperatures will be here in the east with near 60-degree readings northeast, mid and upper 60-degree readings in the southeast. Bus stop forecast, about 37 degrees as the kids catch the bus at 7 a.m. So a little bit of chill in the air. Light jacket. They'll be taking it home, though. 58 on the bus ride and the morning commute. It'll be an easy sail. Just remember the shades. Watch out for that sun glare. 60 tomorrow, 56. Got a rain or a snow shower in on Saturday. It comes in the afternoon and should depart in the evening. 52 is our coolest day, and then we're right back to the 50s and very warm 60s for the next few days as we look into early next week.
Good grocery shopping weather. Thanks, Dave.
A new device to treat migraines.
The FDA just approved it for use here in the United States. That story tops our look at your health tonight. The device is a headband called Cephaly. You wear it over your forehead, and it sends small impulses to the nerves. A trial shows it helps reduce the number of migraines, but not the severity. You will need a prescription to get it, and you should only wear it for about 20 minutes a day.
The number of adults taking medication for attention deficit disorder is on the rise. A new report shows the use of ADHD drugs doubled from 2008 to 2012. The biggest increase is among women ages 26 to 34. And the report shows 9% of young boys take the drugs for their disorder.
All right, huge Broncos news tonight, and some ladies are going to be disappointed. Their off-season makeover continues, and up next we'll tell you which top player is officially on his way out of town tonight. And as some other talent decides to call Denver home, we'll show you that.
What really persuaded me, Elway being Elway who he is, but also the moves that he made before he even came here.
John Elway working his free agency magic once again, along with DeMarcus Ware. Which other talented players the Broncos introduced today at Dove Valley?
And next on Nightside at 10, the latest on all of tonight's top stories, including this morning's wild ride, a high-speed chase that went across 5 Colorado counties. We'll tell you what's next for the man behind the wheel. Plus, some tense moments on an airplane when a baby stops breathing. Hear from the man being called a hero and the skill that helped him save the day. Those stories and much more coming up on Nightside in just a few minutes at 10.
Now, the Bank of the West Sports Zone with Nick Griffith.
We're trying to make a statement that we're a team this year to be reckoned with.
Team to be reckoned with. That message right now pretty clear for the Denver Broncos. That's DeMarcus Ware, the headliner today, who makes up this trio of defensive talent that the Broncos were able to sign in free agency. All 3 players, Ware, TJ Ward, Aqib Talib, all officially introduced today over at Dove Valley. The Broncos started the party by signing the hard-hitting, strong safety Ward yesterday afternoon. He comes to Denver from Cleveland. Last night they then announced that they plucked Aqib Talib away from New England, and now today they signed the Cowboys' all-time sack leader, 7-time Pro Bowler DeMarcus Ware. Signed him up to a 3-year, $30 million contract, $20 million in guaranteed bucks. If it wasn't obvious before, it's definitely obvious now. The time to win it off the Denver Broncos is right now.
I know it was shortcomings last year with the Super Bowl, and we were not trying to have that happen again. So I'm looking forward to doing everything I can to not let that happen.
I just seen what kind of team they was. I seen the results. They went to the Super Bowl, so I just wanted to go to a team who was going to still compete. That's basically what me and my agent and my brother, we was kind of looking for, the total package.
Breaking news tonight, Eric Decker will not be a Bronco next season. After a visit to New York today and a dinner with Rex Ryan tonight, Decker has signed a reported 5-year contract with the Jets. Broncos, by the way, will play Decker and the Jets later this season in New Jersey. To the NFL prospects getting ready for the draft. CU Pro Day up in Boulder. All eyes on former Buff wide receiver Paul Richardson, who just continues to climb the draft board. You ask why? Well, how about catches like this? Another day to impress the scouts.
You start to learn that it really is a business. This is a job, and we're all out here trying to find employment. So, that's how I take it every day, and I think that's what's keeping me focused and keeping me passionate about doing this.
To the ice we go. Another big game for the surging Avalanche. Tonight hosting the Chicago Blackhawks. Second place in the Central Division is on the line. Entering the night, Blackhawks with a 1-point edge over the Avs in the Central Division. And obviously a lot to play for, a lot to fight for. Cody McLeod and Sheldon Brookbank throwing fisticuffs. Get after it, fellas. Typical Avs Blackhawks game out there at the Pepsi Center. There's McLeod. A little later, Brad Malone recently called up and making the most of it. Avs go up 1-0. Nice goal by Malone there. Second period, Matt Duchene playing some great hockey this year. Extends his point streak to 9 consecutive games. 22nd goal of the season for Duchene. Last check, the Avs have tacked on another goal. They lead at 3-1 in the third period. The Nuggets continuing their 5-game road trip in Orlando tonight. Pick it up third quarter. Nuggets going to break the huddle, and then Timofey Mozgov misses McKenna Fareed there with the cleanup aisle 5. Nuggets by 4, 72-68. Fareed leads the way with 26 points, 9 boards. Wilson Chandler also poured in 21 points. Nuggets get the win 120-112. College hoops. CU Buffs opening the Pac-12 tourney against USC today. Tab Boyle and company engaged in a close game, tied up 50-all. Josh Scott, little hook shot in the lane, scores the next 6 points for the Buffs, and then late in the game, Askia Booker. Nice finger roll here. Buffs get the win, 59-56. Up next, the rematch against Cal tomorrow afternoon. Keep it going.
All right, let's hope, Nick. Thank you. Still plenty more news to come tonight.
Nightside starts right now.